record now before I forget. Welcome, everybody. Give it a couple minutes for everyone to get settled, but please feel free. Turn on your camera if you'd like. This is interactive, so we'd love to see your faces if you're comfortable. Also, just a heads up that this meeting is being recorded, so you can always re-watch it later. Recording will be sent to you. It'll also be posted on the Devant Facebook page, so don't worry. When we answer your questions, you'll be able to come back later. All right, so we're giving it a couple minutes. Tell me, what school do you attend? Where are you calling from this evening? What are you studying? What type of job are you looking for? It helps us answer your questions if we know a little bit about what your background is and why you're here this evening. Feel free to unmute your microphone as well if you're brave, or feel free to use the chat box as well. We've got an eye on that. All right, I'm going to get started with the slides, but as I said, as we're talking, please feel free to use the chat and introduce yourself. Let us know what you're up to, why you're calling in tonight. Okay, so we'll do some introductions first. First off, welcome to the monthly Career Cafe. My name is Keelin. I am a career coach, employment counselor. I've been in the field for about 4.5 years now, and I have spent the last year and a half specifically working in the tech sector, so helping people find jobs in tech, mostly web development and software engineering, but also a little bit of UX, UI, data analytics. So if we have any people here looking to get into tech, I'm happy to answer your questions. And then my lovely co-host, Katarina, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Awesome. Thanks, Keelan. My name is Katarina. I am an HR manager and career coach. I'm currently working at a healthcare sector, and I was also an international student. I came to Canada 10 years ago. So I have worked with many international students, and I have helped them with like resume, job search, cover letters, LinkedIn and stuff like that. So I'm really excited, like to be here today, meet all of you and answer all of your questions.
So thanks, Katarina. Okay, so a little bit about Devant. If you have not heard of us before, Devant's main goal is to help students and recent graduates get hired in Canada. Since we've been around, we've helped over 25,000 job seekers from all across Canada. We have hosted over 500 events since 2019. And at the moment, we currently have over 30 partnerships with Canadian employers with active job opportunities. I'll talk a little bit more later on about some future upcoming Devant events. But just some housekeeping before we get started. Like I said, this is an interactive workshop. These career cafes are really networking opportunities. They're opportunities for you to ask us questions, for you guys to get to know each other. So we do encourage you to unmute your microphone and ask questions if you're comfortable. Put on your camera. We want to see your face. But like I said, there is also the chat box. So if you'd like to ask your questions in the chat box instead, that's totally fine. If you do want to ask us out loud, we also encourage that. And then, like I said at the beginning, the session is being recorded, so it will be emailed to you afterwards. So no need to make notes or anything. You can always come back and rewatch it afterwards. Then, like I said, before we wrap up, we'll spend the last couple of minutes just talking about some of Devant's future events coming up. All right, so let's jump right into it.
Perfect. So we usually want to start this career cafe with asking very simple questions like, what are your wins like this week? What are your challenges? And if you if you can think of like any wins or challenges for this week, you can also like start by asking your questions. It can be anything from job search, resume, cover letter, networking, LinkedIn, whatever comes to your mind. Like, I know that all of you came here with a purpose and probably have a lot of questions. So feel free to ask your questions if you don't want to share like any wins or challenges. You can unmute your microphone and you can, like ask the question, or we are both monitoring the chat window, so you can type your question in the chat window. We're a quiet group today.
We've got in the chat somebody from Alberta. Welcome. They're studying finance and economics, hoping to network and meet professionals in the field to understand potential career paths. Exciting.
Awesome. That's exciting.
Thanks, Amaranth. Nishika, Humber College. Ooh, more finance, financial planning, aiming to connect with professionals and fellow students. Awesome. Well, now you can both connect with each other. You're both international students in the finance space. So that's awesome. Any questions? Anybody come tonight hoping to ask something? You've got 2 career coaches here hoping to answer any question that you have about the job search in Canada. Anything from resumes, LinkedIn, networking, cover letters.
Maybe tell us, why did you join the Career Cafe today?
Yeah. Oh, God.
Maybe, yeah.
Healthcare industry, construction project management, very cool. Arrived in Canada just last month. Welcome. Global business management, very cool.
So maybe I'll ask some. Oh, Maribel, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Maribel. Hi, can you see me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. I am newcomer. I am from Mexico. I am enrolled to Niagara College. I'm studying HR program.
Oh, amazing.
Thank you. I've been working in HR for the past 15 years.
Okay, amazing. So you work in a, awesome. So sorry, so you're studying HR right now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And how long is your program?
1 year.
1 year. Do you have a co-op?
What do you mean?
Like a placement, like to go and just like gaining some HR experience, right? Usually like the 1 year programs, they have like a co-op semester where you can go and work. Yeah, amazing. Is it this summer?
Yes.
Awesome. So did you find a co-op?
Not yet.
Not yet. So you're looking?
Yes.
Okay. So what are your challenges? Like, when do you like, like what is kind of like, when you look for a job, like, do you see any challenges? Do you have any questions about that?
Yes. Most of the jobs are full-time, not part-time. And I am studying full-time. And I think that the opportunities are really, there is no, we have a few opportunities. And most of them, they are requesting to have experience here in Canada. So basically, that's the main challenge, because I don't have, experience working here. That's the first barrier. And the second one is that they are looking someone, full-time to work, full-time.
Okay. So is your co-op, like, are you looking for a full-time placement or part-time placement?
Part-time placement.
Part-time, because you're in school?
Yes. I have to attend some classes Thursday and, Friday and Saturday. I can, work Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but not, Thursday and Friday. I cannot, work those days.
Well, that is honestly like not fair. Like, it's challenging just to find like a full-time co-op, like for 4 months, like, and they're just making you like have a co-op and plus like go to like in attend classes. I completely understand your challenge. Are you like interested? Because I know when I was doing the co-op, I was always looking for a paid co-op. I wasn't like able to do like unpaid co-ops because I had to pay, like,
Yeah.
rent and stuff like that. But if you have the, like the ability to get like an unpaid co-op, they might be a little bit more flexible with the schedule because it's an
Okay.
unpaid co-op. And to be honest, you learn a lot from the unpaid co-ops. It's
Okay.
just that like you're not getting any compensation, right?
All right.
That's the challenge. But if you even check, like just make sure that you meet the credits, right? Because I think the co-op probably has like certain credits that you have to get right in order to graduate. So just like pay attention, like make sure that you get those credits. But I would say like try unpaid co-ops and see if that works. If of course like you're able to do that. If not, like definitely aim for like paid co-ops and maybe like have that discussion with the employers and just say, are you graduating actually in September?
I am graduating next year.
Or next year, because what I wanted to suggest is like if you were graduating in September, you can just say to them, hey, like I have a couple more like classes to attend this summer, and then I can come like and be like a full-time employee if you like, if you're looking to hire somebody. But okay, I can see like the challenge. I know that's challenging. Does the college have like any platforms where they post jobs? So
Yes.
you can, like, oh, okay. I know that they don't post a lot, and like they will post like 3 jobs and there are like 300 people they're looking for a co-op. So,
Yeah.
right, like I know, I understand, like I went through that for sure. So like just keep looking, like Indeed, LinkedIn, try to connect with people. I'll like one time when I was like I had a hard time to find a co-op because I had 3 co-op semesters. What I did is in my area I just tried to see like find companies, and then after that I went on like LinkedIn or Google and see like who is the HR of that company, and I would like send them an email. So what I did, like I sent my resume, I said, hi, like I'm like a 3rd year like HR student, I'm looking for a co-op, like do you have anything, like do you need a student to help you, to help the HR department? And actually like, I received a call from one. They didn't look for a co-op student, but because I emailed them, they actually reached out to me, which was pretty great, right? Like I honestly didn't expect that anybody will like respond to me. And that's how I found my last co-op.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, yeah,
Thank you
like
for
pretty much like, yeah, try everything. Like go on LinkedIn, Indeed, like send emails, call people, like message them, try to network. You never know, right? Like you never know
Yes.
and plus it's part-time. And I think, yeah, that might work.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries. I can see that like somebody's raising their hand. Amira, do you have a question?
Yeah. In terms of challenges, I am also looking for a co-op or internship. Fall maybe, but definitely sometime before I graduate, which is next year, hopefully.
Okay.
And what I find that is difficult for this particular process is that, for example, I go on the company website and then they mention that they only recruit from particular universities. And I'm wondering, like, what weight does the university you go to kind of affect you being chosen for particular co-ops or internships? And I get that being an international student doesn't really help as well. So I guess my question is, how do I bypass all this, the university choices, the international choices and everything to actually secure a co-op? What I have done is, I've really gone on the networking route, which is, like reaching out to people on LinkedIn, getting them to go on calls with me. They talk and they give me some advice and everything. And I do use it. It's just that I'm not particularly seeing any result. I did get one, like a referral from one, but that also didn't work out, and it is difficult emotionally and, everything. So yeah, I guess I'm just looking for more guidance.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. It is like people who haven't been like job searching, they don't understand how hard it is and then how like time consuming it is. I always say like looking for a job is literally like a full-time job. And then you have to spend like 7-8 hours sometimes per day, like to like job search, like tailor your resume and cover letter, apply. Sometimes those applications are really long. So I completely understand, but I know that it's like, I don't know, like you have to just like keep going and don't give up. And sometimes if you have like a hard time, that's fine. Just like disconnect, try to go for a walk, try to do something that, you know, like makes you happy and kind of like will like keep your mind like away from just like thinking about the co-op. And then you have to go back and do it. That's, you know, like that's the reality. You have to find a co-op and you just like try to find to cope with the stress that, you know, like the co-op actually kind of like, you know, like it's just, yeah, that's one thing. Another thing that I would recommend is when I was also looking for co-ops, I would see on like some like jobs, like go from hospitals or government, they will say, you know, like we're only accepting like permanent residents or Canadian like citizens, right? And that time I was, you know, like an international student, so I didn't have my permanent resident. So I was just like stop looking in those type of, you know, like jobs, and I would look into like more like private sector, you know, like private companies, like medium-sized like companies where I know they would accept like anybody, right? It's not just like permanent residents and international students. This is the same thing as, you know, how like some big companies will ask for transcript and like 80% of the other companies, they don't ask for it. So just like try to find the actual, you know, like the companies that won't say, you know, like we are hired for this particular universities, because some like big corporations, they already have a partnership with that university. So that's why they're like saying that on their applications, but not all of them do that. So you just have to like kind of like do like your research, you know, like start looking for like other companies that you know, like they don't have partnership with like particular university.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned before, you know, like pretty much try everything. Like you have to try everything, even if you think that it might not work, like just do it, right? Like send an email, call, LinkedIn, Indeed, email, like, you know, like not instant message, sorry, like send a text on LinkedIn, message on LinkedIn to like people that HR managers or people that you think that they're like responsible for hiring. You never know, right? Like who might need an HR student. And do you need like, is this co-op for credits, or is just like something that you want to do?
It's definitely for experience, because like, you know, finance is a very competitive sector. If you don't have like the experience leading up to your graduation, it is going to be difficult for you basically.
Okay. I know, like, so if it's not for credit, that's another probably issue that you're going to face, because pretty much companies, they will give, you know, like advanced, you know, like they will give like they will actually get students that need to get that co-op for credits. So that would be like another big challenge. And like I understand, but like I said, try like smaller companies, because smaller companies has like not a lot of employees, and sometimes they might need like somebody to help them with finance.
Like startups?
Sorry?
Like, do you mean by like startups or something?
Like not just startups, like there are like companies that will have like 20 employees, 30 employees. So I would say like see what is the size of the company, and like more of like the private sectors, right? Like you and try and see like if you can get a co-op there, because mostly their finance department will consist of just one person, and that person might need like some help, and they might be able to, you know, like mentor a student.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, Leon?
Yeah, we had a question in the chat, but it looks like you've answered it. It was again about co-ops and internships. Awesome. So yeah, Leon, go ahead.
Hi, we have two challenges, because I am an international student of construction project management, and I can find any job because I want a part-time job, because I have to study full-time. No, and there is no opportunities because my schedule is really crazy, because I have in the morning, Monday morning, and then Tuesday afternoon. It's really crazy. I don't have all of the days I have to be studying, no, you know, and this is the trouble for me. The other trouble is for my wife, because she can work full time. She is not studying. She is architect with more than 10 years of experience, but the problem is that she don't have English, a good English, I mean, no? And we are looking for some place to improve their English skills. And we go to newcomers, for example, go to a newcomers for improve our English. And they say, no, this is not for you, that kind of newcomer. They are for, how do you say, for PR newcomer, but I don't understand how a newcomer could be a PR, a permanent resident in some places. Well, it's kind of strange. We cannot find some place to improve our English.
So probably what they mean is a lot of people, they apply from their home country to get their permanent residence. And once they get their permanent residence, they will come to Canada. That's how they come, as permanent residents. So probably they mean by that, but like, honestly, like, I don't understand why. Maybe they have some criteria that like I'm not aware of, but what I would recommend, there are like a lot of online apps, like a lot of online videos that might help you, and like some apps that you can download on your phone that will help you like improve your English. There's a lot of resources out there. You just have to like do a little bit of a research on Google, and you will see a lot of stuff might come up that might help you practice your like help you with improving your English. Another thing that I recommend, even just like getting a part-time job or like a casual job at like Tim Hortons or Starbucks, or like the grocery store, like just interacting with people, communicating with like customers, communicating with your coworkers will help you so much, and that will improve your English more than just like going and attending some classes. Because when you go like and attend, like the classes, it will help more on the grammar, the structure, which is good, right? But like just like constantly communicating with like customers and your coworkers will help you improve your English 100%. Like when I came, my English was also, like not great. So I started working at a restaurant, and just like communicating with customers and communicating with my coworkers helped me learn new words, new phrases, like I knew how to, like say stuff. So that might be like something that you want to try. I know it's really hard when you're like an internationally trained professional. You worked in your home country so for so many years, and you have a career there, right? And you have that experience. And when you come here, you have to work like at an entry-level job. But that's how like I think most of the people like started, right? So it's just something that will bring you some money, which is good, right? But also it will help you improve your English. If like attending English classes is hard, maybe try to to find like a part-time job. And what is really great here with like grocery stores like Tim Hortons, the hospitality business, is when you give them your schedule, they will just give you shifts the time that you're available. So you don't have to worry about, like, oh, I have school, I can come. You just say, this is my availability, and then I can work like these hours. Do you have anything from me? And I'm sure you can find something, like in your area. Okay. That's number one thing. And then definitely Google. I think like, what was it like? There was like one app that starts with B. Was it like, but I don't know, but I know that type of app really helps you like improve your English, and you can word like different phrases, and it's for free.
Babbel or Duolingo?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Keelin, do you have anything to add?
No, I think that was fantastic. No, you always give such great answers, Katarina. Maribel, did you have another question? I saw your hand up again.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay. I think that the public library offers some English courses for free. The one that is located at Young, a reference library, I would suggest to check on that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Thank you, Maribel.
Yeah,
That's true. Yes, the library definitely might offer something. And I'm not sure, maybe I missed this. Did you like try community centers? They might have some classes, and also there are like a lot of like newcomer centers, like welcome centers. They might have some classes. Actually, you know what? The welcome centers are funded by the government, and probably those are the ones that told you that you need to have a PR. And that's why you are not able. I remember I worked in one like 5 years ago, and I remember you're right. There's like a certain criteria that they have to follow. That's why probably they told you need a PR.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I just remembered it. Okay. Yeah. So just like steer clear from the welcome centers. Try, like Maribel said, some libraries, do something online, or even like if you can find like a casual part-time job, it will really help you.
Thank you so much.
No worries.
We don't have any questions in the chat. So if anybody has a question, we can get to it right away. You don't have to wait. Feel free, like you said, ask in the chat or unmute your microphone and ask Ask out loud.
I have a question for you guys. Like, I know that a lot of you are applying for jobs or like applying for co-ops. Do you find like hard to write your resume? How, like, do you have any challenges with that? Like submitting an application and tailoring your resume? Anybody?
Yes.
So yeah, Darshana.
Yes, I have a question that some companies ask for to record your video and send us to evaluation. So I am very confused about that, how to record the best video so that our chances will grow. And what are the points that we need to consider while recording our video?
That is a really great question. Like in the past, like few years, I saw that like a lot of companies like introducing that type of model where like they do like the pre-screening where you have to record a video. So usually like really depends what they ask. Some people, they just ask to let them know a little bit about yourself, right? So what I would do is like, I will start with just like telling them a little bit about yourself. And I wouldn't say like, hi, my name is Katarina. I'm like an HR student, for example, right? Like wouldn't start with that. I will start with something that is like, it's like a little bit, you know, like it's unique about yourself. So for example, I will start like since a young age, I was always the one that people will come to for advice. And that paid off today because, you know, like I'm doing really good in my HR field. Like that's something that, you know, like you can start and then you can just say like, I have this many years of experience and then tell them a little bit about your skills and experience. And I just like, I will like practice at home, right? Because probably you will know how long the video should be. So just like practice at home. So you're not going to make like any mistakes, right? You're not going to seem nervous or sound like, you know, like nervous. So I think that will help you a lot. Some videos are like, they will ask you a couple of questions and you have to record yourself and then like submit the video. So for those you don't know, right, what they're going to ask you, but usually they talk more about, again, like, why do we, you know, like, why do you want this job? Tell us about yourself, you know, like how many years of experience you have, or they might ask you some behavioral or situational questions about their role. So it really depends, right? Like whether it's just like an introduction they ask you to send, or it's like more of like getting to know you a little bit better and like learn about your skills and experience. So the one that you were talking about, what did they ask you? Did they ask just one video or there were like more questions?
Like why you want to work this position, why are you interested, and what will you do if we hire you? How will you perform? Such kinds of questions.
Okay, good. And did they send you the questions, you know, like in advance, or you were not sure what's gonna happen? You just like start, you know, like the session, or I don't even know like how they call it, like the interview, because probably that was like an interview. Like
No. They sent me a link and then asked me to record the questions and also provided me the sample question where I can practice for some time.
Oh, good.
And after that, once I ready, I need to click on the link and when the interview questions will appear. I'm not aware about the interview questions earlier.
Okay, that's good. So I know that you said like, I'm not sure how to record. What I would do is like make sure that you're like in a room with a lot of lighting, right?
Yes.
Because you wanna like see, right? Like for them to see your face. Make sure that there is nobody in the background, so there's no noise, right? And then just like be prepared. If you know the questions in advance, just like practice them and be prepared. And then I think that's the best. And you will send them, right? Like I think you will give them the best video. That's the most important thing. And also like look presentable, right? So those are kind of like the 4 things. Good lighting, make sure that your internet camera, there's no like background noise, practice your questions and look professional. And I think you will send them like an amazing video.
Yes. Thank you
and
so
I think
much.
with practice, it will become better. This is something that you're not used to, right? And it's like scary.
Yes,
Right? Yes, exactly. You're used to a different type of model where they will call you or they will email you, right? Yeah, this is new, but don't be scared. I'm sure you'll do fine.
So once I start camera, I become conscious and I forget everything, what I have prepared and what I'll speak. I don't know what I'm speaking while recording.
And do you have a chance to, like record again?
Yes.
Okay, so then you can practice, right? Like if the first try like is not good, just like don't save it, don't submit it. Just
Yeah.
like they'll do another try, and then probably you will get it, because the second, third time probably you will be more comfortable and more relaxed.
Yeah.
Shauna, I just posted in the chat as well. If you have access to the Devant portal through your school, there's a really cool AI interview tool there that kind of asks you very similar questions, and then it gives you some feedback on your answers and suggestions for improvement. If you don't have access to the Devant portal, there's a website called Yodlee or Yodlee. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I put it in the chat. That's very similar. So it's very similar to what you're saying. It'll ask you a question, you respond, and then right away it gives you some feedback. It'll talk about your pacing, like the pace, if you were talking too slow, if you're talking too fast. It'll tell you if you use any filler words, and it'll also take what you're saying and rephrase it and say, like, this is how you could have said the same thing better. So that's a really cool tool to help you practice before you have those video interviews, or before like a real interview as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Much helpful. Thank you so much.
Another thing, sorry, that I just think of is call your friend, or like a family member on like WhatsApp or like FaceTime, right, on Viber. Put the camera on and practice with them.
Yeah, that's also a good thing.
Yeah.
Good suggestion. Yes.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you. I think, Remy, do you have a question?
Yes. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
I want to ask you about my experience. Actually, I recently completed my project management postgraduate certificate, and I want to enter in a IT field again. I do have experience in IT as a software tester, but it's too old. It was in 2017, I guess. So after that, I have pursued my master's degrees, but my job experience was completely different from the IT. So it was in retail sales associate. Then I worked as an office admin. So I don't know how I will, when I apply for the IT jobs now, I'm not a fresher and I'm not even an experienced one because my experience is too old. So I don't know how to connect the dots when I submit my resume for any IT job.
Mm-hmm. And so when you're graduating?
I have graduated last year.
Okay, and you're looking out for jobs?
Yes, in IT specifically, yeah.
In IT, okay, good. And then how long have you been job searching?
I recently started it actually. It's IT, yeah. Because when I was a student, I wasn't allowed to work more than 20 hours, right? So
yes, that's true. Yeah. Okay, good. So you know what, I know that you mentioned that you had some jobs that were not related to IT, but don't forget about the transferable skills. That's number one thing. And then this is something that you can mention, during your interviews, or when you can say something in your cover letter or the email that you're sending to, the hiring managers, just working at in retail, or working as server, right? You're learning, you're gaining customer service skills, problem solving, communication skills. There are so many things that you're learning. And I wish even people that are coming, in my company that I'm hiring, I always look if they had any type of job where they work at Tim Hortons, or they work at a store, right? Or they were servers at a restaurant, because those jobs really prepare you, for the real world that I'm calling, where you will have people that will get mad at you. You will have coworkers that will not get along. You will need to solve problems. So that is really important. So never think that because it's not non-IT related job, that it doesn't count. It counts, but it's also very important how you present it to the interviewer or the hiring manager. So that one thing. Another thing is, I always say this to every person that I talk to, when they say my experience, it's for a few years ago and I don't know what to do now because I want to get back into the field. Try volunteering. That's something that a lot of people don't get advantage of, but it's pretty great. You don't have to volunteer 40 hours per week. Even if you volunteer just a few hours in an IT field, right, in the IT sector, you can put that on your resume, and you don't have to tell them that you are, you were volunteer there, because you're gaining actual experience. So that's what number one thing. And then number two is just, like to like network and to like try different things. A lot of people, when they say, oh, we're job searching for quite like some time, they will just focus in on one platform, or they will just do Indeed and LinkedIn. I know that Indeed and LinkedIn are like the best ones right now. Like I use them as like a HR manager, okay? But we also try like different things where, like we go like a network. Like when I go and do my nails at the nail salon, I tell my nail lady, I'm like, okay, I'm looking for these roles. The 3 times she called me and say, hey, I have a client that actually is looking for this. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So like, just
Oh,
like
wow.
stuff
Okay.
that people like don't, you know what I mean? Don't think of. And it's just like, put it out there. Just like tell everybody that you're looking for a co-op, family, friends, neighbors. Even if you go to the doctor and you like start a conversation with somebody, mention it. You never know who can help you. And a lot of people like don't realize that. And then try like the cold calling method that like, we're not going to technically like call people, right? But like I mentioned before, search for companies, IT companies in the area, email them, see what they're going to say. Again, like sometimes they have the role, but it's not posted yet. And you might get an advantage there where you will send your resume before the job is out. So those are kind of like the things that you have to pretty much try everything. And for everybody here, like if you're job searching, it's not an easy process. It's not going to happen overnight. We have like a very like small percentage of people that apply for a job and they found a job within a month or within like 2 weeks. It's unfortunately, it's a little bit longer, but you just have to like keep going and keep applying and trying different things, attending different workshops, network, and you will see that you will find something.
Okay, thank you. Actually, I'm in a situation right now. I am where I'm struggling. Should I go into the IT field or should I try something else? Because it's a large gap now.
Yeah, I know. And you know what, like if you are able to find, I'm not sure like if there's like any IT volunteer opportunities, right? But if you're able like to try something, just like go and volunteer for like a few months, see if this is like for you, right? Because you might end up finding a job and not liking it, and that's totally fine, right? You can go and try and find something else.
Yeah. What I would say with IT right now as well, I know it's scary. It feels like every time you go on LinkedIn or every time you watch the news, there's more news of layoffs in the IT sector. I will say that while large companies are doing a lot of layoffs right now, smaller companies are still hiring. Smaller to mid-sized companies, startups are always going to be looking for people. So don't be afraid to apply. Everybody wants to work for those big names, but especially if you're coming back to the field, don't be afraid to apply to smaller companies as well. And also, as a junior and as somebody with not a lot of experience, you actually have more of an advantage in IT right now and in the tech field because a junior costs anywhere from 3 to 5 times less to hire than somebody with a significant amount of experience. So the fact that you are a junior, you're coming in for those junior entry-level roles means that you aren't as affected by the layoffs in the tech industry right now. So that's actually an advantage for you. So I know it's scary, but focus on smaller companies and there's still a lot of hiring going on in tech right now.
Yeah, it's an advantage to work in IT startup companies because you learn a lot more than the bigger ones.
Yeah, absolutely. My gosh,
thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, we've got a lot of hands. Everett, I think you were next.
Yeah. My question is, how important do you guys think that cover letters are? Like on job applications, they don't really specify, oh, send your cover letter as well. Sometimes you just say, send your resume and your transcript in one PDF. But then we think that we should send a cover letter because, why not? But then nowadays we have, the AI and everything, Chat GPT, and you can create a cover letter within like 5 minutes after you edit and make it look presentable and give it more information. And on top of the fact that as job seekers, we spend so many hours, so much effort trying to apply to a lot of applications in one day and everything. So I'm wondering, what do you guys think about using AI for cover letters, or what do you think about using cover letters in general?
Okay. So cover letters for some companies, like really help them make decide who is like the better candidate, because a really good cover letter, like even for myself, when I like go through, we don't ask for cover letters, but if somebody sends me their cover letter, I will like read it, right? And I'll be like, oh my goodness, good. Like I want to now like meet this person. I want to actually, you know, like interview them, because when I read the resumes, you learn about their skills, right? And cover letter is a little bit more personal, where like it will tell you a little bit more about the person. You can get an idea, which doesn't have to be right? But you kind of like get a sense of like who they are as like person. So if the job application doesn't state anything, they just say like, please send us, you know, like your resume to this email or apply here, I would say if you already have a cover letter, why not like include it? But just have to be careful. There are some companies that will specifically say, please send us only your resume. And if you see something like that, don't send your cover letter. But just like sending it, it's not going to make like any damage, you know, like to the companies where they're like, okay. But if they say like just resume, please just send their resume, because you don't want your application to be, you know, like just like put in on a pile where they will not like, you know, like review it. So that's one thing. And about the EI, like I don't know, like it's always be careful. You can use the tool because it's very helpful and it's like fast, right? But make sure that you read the cover letter and like make sure that it's not, that it's like natural. You know what I mean? That it's like you are writing it. Like, so it doesn't seem like, oh, like a tool was writing it, like they just copy and pasting online, just like post it. Cover letter has to be a little bit personal. And by that, I don't mean to add like personal information, okay? No, like I don't mean that. I just mean like to tell them a little bit like who you are as like a person, right? You can like share something, you connect it with like things that you did. Maybe you can say like, since I was young, I always wanted to do like, you know, like to be in IT. And I was always the one that will like fix my friends' computers, like, or like I was always the one that I would help like my grandparents with like, you know, like internet and like finding stuff on their laptop. So just like make that connection where they will get to know, okay, but like, okay, this person is helpful. They know about IT, they have passion, right? And stuff like that. And this is just an example. So yeah, so be careful when you use those tools, because sometimes the cover letter might not come as, you know, like it is written from like an actual person. So use it, but also like make sure that you do maybe some changes, and then send the cover letter. If you already have one, just like send it to the applications that like they don't specify what they want. But if they just say like I need a resume, then do not include it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries. And like I said, some managers, they're like, they want to read them. Some managers, they're like, I don't have time for this. I just want to like review the resume, but that's fine. You know, like it's not that, you know, like you're going to get like negative points for that. So it's good. Okay, I think Darshana, do you have a question?
Yes. Earlier you mentioned that the person asked that regarding the volunteering opportunities in the IT. So how to find the volunteering opportunity in the relevant field? Because I'm not sure how to find volunteering in the IT field. Right now I'm volunteering with a theater company. So volunteering in different field and volunteering in the same field, will it affect in my career in any ways, like how it is?
So volunteering is volunteering and you're going to gain something. Doesn't matter if it's, you know, like in your field or it's like in a different field. Of course, if it's like in the field that, you know, like you're interested, it will benefit you more, because you can put it on your resume and you will learn what's going on like in your field, right? So you will be like up to date with what's happening. But even volunteering like somewhere else will still like gain you like other skills that you can use in the future. So it's pretty great because you're doing something, you're gaining experience, but of course it's like 10 times better like to find something in your field, because that will help you with your job search, right? And like learning, knowing like when you enter the field, like, okay, I'm not going to be surprised, right? Like I will know a little bit of what's happening, right? So that is the only thing. And how you can find volunteer opportunities. Are you located in Ontario?
Yes.
Okay, so there is a couple of places where you can look. Charity Village, it's one. There's like another one that it's volunteer match, but I'm not sure if they post like Canadian volunteer opportunities. They might be US, but even if it's like a US volunteer opportunity, if it's online, who cares, right? Like you're gaining the experience. You can just go and
I
apply.
don't know about online volunteering opportunity. What is that?
So I did that. It's pretty much like organizations, they need volunteers, and they will offer, like an online volunteer. They have like their own platform. They will give you access to their platform, and you just work on projects and communicate with them through like email, or like depending what like platform, what communication platform they have. A lot of people use like Google Hangouts, or a lot of people use like Microsoft Teams, and you just do your
Yeah.
work. It's kind of like a remote work. You know how like remote
Yeah.
work is working from home? You just do this, but you
Okay.
volunteer, you don't get compensated. I
Okay.
did
Okay.
this for
Okay.
like 3 years. Like it was pretty great. Like I would do it whenever I have time. And
Yeah.
it's pretty great. Like some companies are very flexible. They will say like, do your work whenever you have time throughout the day.
Yeah.
They're real projects, because if you go and volunteer, you're gonna do some work. A lot of
Yeah.
people like don't think that. They were like, oh, I'll volunteer, and they don't expect that they have to do an actual work. So but that's how you gain the experience, right? And then there's like another one that I don't remember the name, but it was like specifically they were located in Toronto.
Yeah.
But if you just like go on Google and search like volunteer opportunities, a lot
Okay.
of stuff like might like come up.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
That's great.
Yeah, but like one thing just to remember, some volunteer places, they when they're looking for applicants, sometimes they're looking for applicants that they have skills and experience, which is like the thing that I don't understand. But don't be surprised if you see
Yeah.
that the competition for volunteer roles is pretty
Yeah.
much the same as, the competition when you are looking for like a paid job.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's something that like I personally don't agree, because I think the volunteer opportunities should be offered to people that like are struggling to find like work. They don't have experience, right? They may have like gap in their employment, so the opportunity should be like offered. I mean, those volunteer opportunities should be offered to anybody, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like you might see that, so just I'm letting you know not to be surprised. But
Yeah.
now I think a lot of them are like okay with just like getting people. If they see that that person is like they're having a good attitude, they're like eager to learn, they will hire them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yep.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Shartak.
Yes. Hi, Katrina. Hi, Keelin. This is Sarthak. So, I have few questions, and I think one of them you have answered about like how to do volunteer job. So I think I'll look at the website which is on the chat. And another question is like I have co-op next year in March. So should I start contacting companies for co-op, or maybe try to send them my resume or experience like that so that I can secure a co-op, or is it too soon for me to do this?
So you know what, like there are two things here. One thing is that it might be too soon because, right, like company, it's very like it's next year in March, right? End of the year is usually like for some companies like December, and they kind of like get their new budget in January. So they know like if they're going to need like a co-op students or like new hires, right? But I don't think that it's early for you to start networking with people, right?
Okay.
Like just like make contacts, right? There are some companies where they might be hiring for co-ops like very far, like in the future, but those might be like the bigger organizations like Deloitte or like Google, or you know what I mean? Like EI, like those are the ones that like they need more people. So they might like start like, recruiting for co-op students like in, like very far in the future. But for like small companies, I would even say if you need to find your company, like your co-op in March, if you need to start, I would say maybe start like September, October, and then like really heavy like job searching in like December, January. January, it's pretty much the best month for like finding a new role, finding a co-op role, finding a volunteer role, because like I said, they have their budget for the year, for the new year. They know how many people they need. There will be like a lot of opportunities. A lot of people get hired in January. It's the stats are there, like it's everybody says it, right? But I don't think that you should wait until the last minute. So I would say start networking. And if you find something, of course, like for like next year, apply. But you might not be able to see a lot of positions right now because pretty much like it's 10 months, right? Like there's like, yeah, like your co-op is like in 10 months. And so, yeah, so I'm not like, the only thing is it's okay like to start networking. Definitely right now, like search for businesses, search for companies that like do what you want to do, like make a list of them, find who is their like hiring manager, or like, you know, like the manager of the department that you want to be part of, then make that list, like start connecting with them on LinkedIn. And then once that time comes, like September, October, like December, January, you can just like start, you know, like reaching out to them and sending resumes.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that will be, that will be good. And one more thing that I'm facing while searching for a job is like I have some work experience back in India, like 4 or 5 years, but most of the work experience that I have is like sitting in an office, like working on a laptop or computer. So when I'm trying to find a job here, that is not relevant, and that is not what they're looking for. So like I have experience in sales as well, which is not a sitting job. So like how should I like tell them, or should I just exclude the experience which is not relevant to that role? So how should I do that? Like, should I just exclude that from my resume, or like I'm not sure like how to make them realize that I have certain experience for that role.
So what roles are you looking for right now? Like
I have experience in sales, but that is before 2020. And now if I go for like if I look for a job in sales here, I'm in Sudbury currently. So like my previous 3 years of experience is in a company in finance role. So yeah, so I mean I'm not able to understand, like, should I exclude that from my resume so that at least it does not get rejected in the first step, like screening or anything like that.
So you have like you had like finance experience, and now you're
Yes.
looking for sales jobs?
Because here, like, since I'm an international student, so finance, like every company, like is looking for a full-time student. I have been to some job fairs, and even I have applied online. So there are no finance job as a part-time. So basically, they are looking for full-time. So I'm just looking for any job right now, but it's just that I'm finding it difficult with my previous experience.
Okay. So so doesn't matter the type of role that you're looking for, right? You just like find it hard to find a job in general because of your previous experience.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So you know what, like if you're applying for like an entry-level roles, I'm not saying not to include your experience, but maybe like mention it like somewhere, like in a cover letter or in an email, that yes, that experience was like from 3 years ago, but right now, you know, like I'm looking for like a fresh start, or like to start something new. Like I'm not a big fan of like removing stuff from the resume, you know, like, because I think it's important to like to let them know. And I don't know, like it's a little bit tricky, but I would keep that on your resume and just like maybe try to like explain it in your like email when you like send the application, or like add like a cover letter. Because like I think the reason that you might not be able to find a job, not in finance, like in another sectors, maybe because you don't have experience in that particular sector. Right? And like your finance job doesn't have to do, and your finance experience doesn't have to do in anything. Because I'm just going to take IT as an example. If you are looking for a job in IT and you just have finance experience, their excuse will be, okay, this person doesn't have any IT experience. So like they honestly, like they don't, I don't want to use the word they don't care, but like the finance experience doesn't matter to them because it's not related to the job that you're applying.
Right.
I'm not sure if like this answer your question, but
no, yeah, this does. And yeah, I think that is all from my side.
Good. So what like other roles are you like applying to, or you're specifically like focusing on sales roles?
The sales role is what I can find it easily here, but like after my course completes, after my program completes, so I'll be looking for a finance job only. But for now, like I'm looking for, like, my first preference would be to something to with the like some job with the accounting or finance, something like that. But like there are no jobs available like for part-time in these fields.
Okay. So have you tried, I know that a lot of now banks like TD, CIBC, Scotia, they're all looking for like tellers or like customer service, right? And like just starting working in a bank as a teller, you're going to learn a lot about their like promotional materials, like learn about the bank. And it might be like a really good stepping stone to get something in finance afterwards, you know? So maybe like sales, it's not the right step for you. Maybe like you should look something in like a bank, in the banking sector, that might get you a job after it in like the finance department, you know? So even just working in like customer service, you know, like rep, or like, you know, like a teller, you know, like it might be able like to kind of like get you like the job that you want in the future. So maybe just kind of like change a little bit your job search. Maybe don't just look for sales jobs. Maybe look something closer that will bring you closer to your finance job.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
because
perfect.
there's like, I've seen a lot of roles, like, you know, like from like different banks. It will help you, you know, like with like meeting people, networking. If you like, you know, like if you're a good employee, the branch manager like might like refer you and stuff like that.
Okay, one more thing, like when we are applying for a job, so is it okay to apply it online, or should we just actually go to the, like you're saying for the bank? So if I apply it online, so should I also go to the bank branch and submit my
No.
resume?
No, like, yeah, if like right now, if it's online, you just go online. Like, so even if you go there, they say to you, like, we don't collect resumes, because the HR department is pretty much like completely different building. So yeah, so no, like, people don't do that anymore, unfortunately. I know in the past that was kind of like the thing. Even when I was in school, they were like saying, oh, you can just stop by, like leave your resume. They don't do that anymore. Everything it's online. Like it's better for you to like email the hiring manager of a company than like just stop by and like leave your resume. Like that is not like a really good, you know, like job search, you know, like thing to do. Definitely apply online. If you apply online, you're good.
Okay, because I have received advice from many people that if you're applying online, then you should also go to the branch and submit the resume. But yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna be honest, like I always say, like there are different type of advice, right? But like
yeah.
this one, it's not like a really good advice. Keelin, like what do you think?
I agree. Like with small businesses, you can go ahead and go to the store and put your resume in, but something like a bank, like BMO, Scotiabank, like Katarina was saying, their HR department is at like the head office. So for example, like I'm located in Oshawa. If I go to the Scotiabank down the street and submit my resume, they would just tell me to apply online because all of their hiring is done through the HR office that's based in Toronto. So like they don't really have the authority to hire at local branches. It all comes down to head office when it comes to big companies like that. Smaller companies, like if you have a small store in Sudbury that you want to apply to that just has the one location, some small local business, by all means, you can go ahead to the store with your resume. But any type of big company is probably going to have some red tape and you need to apply online through the formal channels. Okay, we've got about 2 minutes left,
Thank you.
friends. This went by really, really quickly. You had some great questions. We started off a little slow, but you got interactive as we went on, which is fantastic. Katarina, do you want to answer one more question while I post some links in the chat to some
Yeah,
upcoming Devant
absolutely.
events?
Sure. Marion, like I can see you have like, yeah, perfect.
Yes. Okay. I came in a bit late, but I think I have some questions. Firstly is what's your take on tailoring your CV, your resume to a particular job role? So for example, I have experience with business analysis. I've done customer analysis. So with that, I have an idea with customer service or customer experience. So if you have a role that has to do with customer experience or customer service, what's your take about just tailoring your CV to just customer experience and removing the analytic part of your experience? Like we just have a lot of people say, oh, you just have to tailor it and just maybe change what you've done to speak for just the customer experience alone and then remove the analytic part of it. But I just want to get your take on that because I've just been hearing a lot of things like going around tailoring your CVs.
No, that is a really good question. So if you're applying for a job, right, and let's say you have just like one customer service experience, or let's say you're applying for a job, actually, I'm going to phrase it this way. You're applying for a customer service job, right? And like your other jobs are like a little bit different. They're not like mainly in customer service, but some of your tasks were like dealing with customers, right? Like problem solving. So I would focus on those things to put on your resume. So let's say me as an HR, like I'm in HR now, and if I apply for like a customer service job somewhere, I'm not going to talk about performance reviews that I did with the, like employees. I'm not going to talk about benefits, but I'm going to talk about like problem solving. I'm going to talk about, like about the communication that I had like with the employees, like how I solved the problem, like how like I'm really good with our like contracts, right? Like about vendors, so stuff like that. So that will be my focus, because I want to show them that, hey, like I have good communication skills, I have good problem solving skills, because that's what they're looking for in a customer service role. So it's not like to remove everything from your resume, but I will just like focus more on like those type of skills, and definitely like tailor it based on, like your like the job description that you see online.
Okay, so when you go into the company and then you have another role that is now based on another part, which is analytics, is it okay also to change your CV to that particular role?
Absolutely,
like in the same
yeah.
company? Okay.
Yes. So if they have like another job and you have like business analytics or business analysis experience, right? You can focus now more on like that role. What you should not do is like, I would not recommend like changing the job title or like changing, like completely. I'll just say like to focus on the things that will bring you closer to that job, right? Because like I said, a lot of times there are like things that you're doing and you don't realize that, okay, this skill can apply to like 3 different jobs.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but but totally apply to both jobs. There's nothing wrong with that, but just like make sure that like you're not lying on the resume, right? Like on one resume for customer service, focus more on the customer service things, and the other one for business analytics, focus more on those skills, right? Because like the bullet points should be like anywhere from like 5 to 7 for like job, right?
Yeah.
And maybe like the first one, just focus more on this customer service, and the second one, just do like the ones like for analytics that, like they will show them that you have the skills, but you can definitely apply to both.
But the job role should not change. Like more like the title of the job shouldn't change. But
yes, the title should not change.
Okay.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, because you're applying to like to same jobs, probably the same person is looking at the resume. So you might come across as somebody who is lying. And I know that that is not your intention, right? And they might not even like invite you to the interview. So you don't want that, right? Like stick to the job, but change the, like explain what you're doing in the bullet points. And you can always like send them an email to like and explain that in the cover letter.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
No worries. Yeah, it's 8:02.
It
That was
is.
pretty fast.
I posted some of the current upcoming Devant events. So next Wednesday, there is a live immigration Q&A with a lawyer. Lawyers are expensive people, especially immigration lawyers. So this is a really, really great opportunity to ask an immigration lawyer some questions. On June 7th, there is an expert panel on people who have established careers in marketing and communications, if that's something that you're interested in. And then, of course, our next monthly Devant Career Cafe is next June 21st on Wednesday. Please feel free to connect with Katarina or me on LinkedIn, connect with each other on LinkedIn as well. And then I've also put the link to register for some events. If you want to book a one-on-one session with Katarina or me, the link is there in the chat. Or if you're hoping to get your resume reviewed or a resume written from scratch by Devant Career Coach, there's also a link there as well. All right, friends, thank you so much for joining us this evening. I hope to see you at another Devant event in the future. And like I said, please feel free to connect and stay in touch until then. Have a great evening, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.